AITA for telling my dad that if his wife censors what I read I won't visit him anymore. Fun fact to cover spoilers. German chocolate cake is called that because it is named after a man named Samuel German. Not because the cake is German. Content warning. Substance abuse mention. Negligent parenting. Homophobia. Controlling parenting. Less than. Mood spoilers. Upsetting but hopeful for OOP. Less than. I am not the OOP. That would be you, Ganmedi, who posted this on r. Am I the asshole? /AITA for telling my dad that if his wife censors what I read I won't visit him anymore. Posted October 16, 2023. My 16 meters. Dad. 40. S parental rights were terminated due to abandonment. Didn't pay child support and didn't contact me for over a year. Telling us he didn't want me to see him at his worst. Alcoholism. He said he's going to start trying now though. Already started going to alcohol rehab. So my mom started taking me to visit him during the weekends. At first it was going fine. A little bit awkward getting to know each other again. Then my dad's new wife and I had an argument. On that day mom had decided that I should spend the night at dad's place. I brought a book with me. My dad's wife, 28, saw it and told me I should not read that book since the protagonist is bisexual and it pushes LGBT stuff. If it's relevant, it's book 2 of the Trials of Apollo series. I told her she can't dictate what I read since I'm not a kid and she's not my mom. And dad quickly jumped to her defense. He said she is still his wife, telling me I shouldn't be rude to her in her home. So I told him, fine. I'm not staying then. And I left and went home. Mom said I don't have to go back there if I don't want to, so I told my dad when he called later on that if he doesn't talk to his wife and tell her she can't censor what I read, I won't be returning. He said what I said was threatening him. Edited. /Relevant comments. Your dad and stepmother should respect what you want to read. But, at 16, you are still a minor. You are not an adult yet. Obviously. I'm assuming you're in the US at this point. It's their house and their rules. They'll either come around to what you and your mother will tolerate on visiting or they won't. Oop. If she said I shouldn't read it at her house then I would have just left without a word, but she said I shouldn't read it. Which just struck me as her trying to control my action in general and not just at their house. But yeah, I just decided that I'm never visiting again. In response to a now deleted comment. Oop. 1. To begin, I didn't know his wife's viewpoints before the visit. 1. It would be one thing if she said I can't have the book in her house, but if you read the entire post she also extended that further than that. She wanted to assume a parental role over me and dictate what I cannot read even when I am not at their house. In other words, to assume complete control. Point 2. Yes, it is their home, but he doesn't have the right to expect me to go back there again. I also have the right to choose not to go there anymore, which I am exercising since she thinks she is a parental figure. Update. Posted on same post. Just talked to my dad. He said that his wife was only trying to do what she thought was best for me. And that the only issue is that what she thought is best is different from what I thought is best. My dad said I should take that into consideration and also humor her by giving up those books, since she would become a new parental figure for me if I keep up the visits. I asked if he expects me to do what she wants, including when I'm not at their house, and he sheepishly said yes. So I told him that I won't be visiting again. That way I won't have to deal with her. ETA. Just to make it more clear, they don't intend for it to be a rule at their house. They wanted me to not read the books even when I'm not at their place. OOP is voted NTA by a majority, though there are a few AITA for saying that I will never Ever babysit my half-sibling? Posted November 7, 2023. I, 16 meters. Live with my mom. My dad lost his parental rights due to abandonment. No contact over a year and no child support. He contacted us after getting sober and things seemed to be going well. But then his new wife tried to prohibit me from reading books featuring LGBT characters. That was when I decided to not visit their house again so I don't have to follow their rules. This morning I found out that my dad's new wife got pregnant. They asked me to meet them at a cafe and I decided to go. Just to hear what they have to say. It's been 20 days since I last saw my dad. They asked if I would consider helping babysit the kid after he is born. They are thinking of having me over for 3 hours each day when the baby is born, so that they can have their time outside by themselves. When I asked my dad's wife if she would still try to control what I read, she said yes, and that she doesn't want me bringing certain books to their home. I told them that I won't do it then since they expect me to just sit there doing nothing for 3 hours except watching the kid. Won't even allow me to use TV since she doesn't want anyone else touching their remote. My grandparents said I should be a bit willing to consider the idea since the kid's my half-sibling. Relevant comments. NTA info. Are they offering to pay you and is that a decent amount? If not, why did they think you would be interested by their offer? Some people are so entitled. Oop. They thought I'd be overjoyed at having a little sibling. No offer to pay me anything. Lol NTA. Over-controlling new wife doesn't let you read Rick Riordan but expects you to babysit 3h a day for free? That's just insulting. Oop. She actually used to really like his books before Nico came out in House of Hades. She gave Hidden Oracle a try but that was the last one she read. Now she thinks he's an evil dem pushing an agenda. I am ish on this one. Let me ask a question. I know this is kinda apples and oranges, but the same thought applies. If your mom banned porn in her house, you wouldn't openly watch it, correct? If your mom gave you a curfew, you would respect her, correct? Just because you like LGBT romance doesn't mean everyone does. I would ask your stepmother if it's the romance part of the book or the LGBT part that she doesn't want you reading. When I was 16 I was heavy into the romance genre. My mom and dad both made it a rule that those books will never come into our home. So, I fixed that. I just snuck them into my backpack and read them on the bus or late at night when everyone was asleep. I don't know if they ever really knew, but I still read them. I just hid it from them. Out of sight, out of mind type thing. If your stepmom has an issue with LGBT, then you and she need to discuss it. And your sexuality. They need to understand that this is part of who you are. If they have a problem with that then you have your answer. But if they don't want romance novels in general in their house, you have to respect their rules. It is their house. By the way, I wouldn't babysit my younger half-sibling unless there was pay. Not for 3 hours a day so they can go outside. They can do that while the baby is asleep. They are limiting you on what you can do outside of school and I would have a bigger problem with that than the books. Oop. I know it is their house and their rules. Which is why I chose not to go there anymore. Because they are not worth it. Oop is once again found NTA by the majority but there are a few comments. Update. Posted on same post. I told it to him straight. I told him he's crazy if he thinks that as a 16 years old I'll take responsibility for an infant. 3 hours a day. Not to mention zero pay and having his wife censor my reading materials. Then I told him I hope he's a better dad to this kid than he ever was to me. Before blocking him. I don't understand the ESHs. He's decided that if he can't do what he wants, he shouldn't be there. That's the right response. No drama. Just, okay then I won't. Dad comes back after all these years basically demanding respect and then expecting him to do free babysitting? NC for sure. Bye. 3 hours a day is a huge amount of time to expect a 16-year-old to watch a newborn without pay, or his preferred reading materials, or TV. Can't say I blame Oop for not wanting to be part of this. Some of these comments are wild. Since when is LGBT equals pornography? People are like their house, their rules, and Oop acknowledges that. That's why he doesn't want to go. Problem solved, right? But people are like, don't you understand their house, their rules? As if Oop lacks reading comprehension and not them. I pity the baby, with those parents. Pensive face. Why were there apparently so many people going, because you need to respect their right to be homophobic in their own home. Like, guys, why are you bending over backwards to defend the homophobe for her homophobia? Feel bad for that baby coming into that situation. Who in their right mind is trying to see it from Dad's perspective? Anyone who voted is an idiot. Oop might be a minor, but Dad is not his parental figure. Oop is there because of an allowance from his one and only guardian. It doesn't matter what Dad's girlfriend thinks. As long as Mom is okay with what Oop reads, nothing else matters. Dad doesn't get to disappear and disappoint only to come back with a girlfriend that wants to parent his teen. And to top it off with them wanting to babysit a baby? Nah, they're insane. They don't sound sober to me. Poor baby. That child has a bleak future. I hope that last commenter that equated being LGBT+ with pornography steps on a rake. I think going NC with his dad was for the best. Man, I am already feeling bad for Op's half-sibling. I truly hope Op's dad and his wife will open their mind in the future. Y'all, the commenter calling the Trials of Apollo a romance is giving me fits. They have no idea what they're talking about, but they're gonna have their say anyway. That commenter equating reading a book with LGBTQ+ characters to watching porn skull. Tell Dad that Oop will devote 100% of the same time and energy he did for Oop to his half-sib. The audacity. Anyone who voted must watch a lot of Fox News. That commenter who compared the situation with a porn ban in his mom's home is idiotic. Dad's wife isn't instantly stepmom. She is just Dad's wife and has no business trying to parent him at all. If she had an issue with the books, she should have talked to the dad and had him deal with it. Op was clear he has no interest in seeing her as a parental figure. Also, the dad was the one wanting to mend the relationship. Not Op, so the one who has to watch boundaries way more is the dad. Op did the right thing by removing himself from a place where he wasn't comfortable, and he had no reason to suck it up and humor the dad's wife. First off, there's the obvious fact that stepmom is a blatant homophobe. It is not doing what's good for you to ban reading material just because a character is LGBTQ+. The gays aren't gonna go away if you just pretend they don't exist, and there is nothing inappropriate about their inclusion in media. And then there's Dad, who so far has not paid child support or raised Oop in any way whatsoever. B. Laid down like a doormat to his wife's bigoted demands, even at the risk of losing what little relationship with his child that he has. And C. Only asked to meet again to request unpaid labor for the new baby. Because I guess he'll do whatever it takes to get out of being a parent except wear a condom. And meanwhile, people are writing paragraphs about whether Oop was also an for doing exactly what he was told and not reading the book in their house. By leaving the house I question mark, what does being a minor have to do with anything? Sperm donor's wife is quite the piece of work. Good for Op to stay far away from all of this. Everyone who tried to push and shame that poor kid into some bigoted parentified hellscape can go suck a chili dog back behind the tasty freeze. What a bunch of cabbages. Oop responded exactly the way I would in that situation. Anyone who thinks I will stop reading my favorite novels and babysit an infant for free is out of their ever-loving mind. For anyone curious and unaware, Trials of Apollo is an extension of the Percy Jackson universe of books. And the LGBT stuff they're referencing is, from my memory, references to legends of Apollo's many male partners. So stepmom is throwing a fit over a beloved young adult franchise that teens have been obsessed with for 15 years now, teaching kids about real Greek legends, which was the whole point of the series in the first place. Anyone who has a problem with a teen reading that is incredibly dumb and needs to look in the mirror to find out how they're so backwards that they're bigger prudes than classical Greece. I will be dead and cold before anyone can pry a book out of my hands. I think reading is incredibly important, and unless it's something completely morally absurd, like how to make bombs, teenagers should be encouraged to read things that interest them and sometimes challenge different views. This poor kid is not some pawn to play with and use as a test case and free babysitter. I'm glad to see that he's standing up for himself, and I appreciate how hard it must be for him. I'm not sure how anyone could have said esh. He's 16 FFS and he's done absolutely nothing wrong. Not sure why people get butt hurt over a 16-year-old wanting to read and be respected face with rolling eyes. AITA and Braindead takes. Name a more iconic duo. Honestly, they can try to justify it all they want, but those commenters are just homophobes who are trying to convince themselves, and the rest of us, badly, that they're not bad people. It's totally not actually about the gay thing. It's about parents' rights.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.